Welcome to Disney A, the Canadian-themed Disney travel podcast.
Hello.
We're your hosts.
There we go.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Krysta. That was a very delayed point, but you did point, so it's okay.
Yep.
Your hood up right now. You look a little like you're wearing you have your head covered like a hood, like a Jedi.
It's Black Hood, so probably not Jedi.
Probably Sith. Good point. How you doing, Brandon?
Oh, I'm fine. It's a holiday Monday.
Yep, because it's Canada. It's Victoria Day. So we are recording with coffee, which
Coffee.
is my next, what are you drinking? It's coffee.
It's coffee.
It is coffee. With some Baileys.
Yep.
Yep.
A little bit.
Yep. And what is your nerd thing this week, Brandon?
Well, hockey season's over, so I started playing Doom. The Dark Ages.
Yeah, you just started a few days ago.
Yeah, it just came out this week, so.
Yeah, how you liking it?
It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
You get to kill some demons.
Nice. It sounded very demon-killing-ish when I was listening. Thursday night, we came home from the brewery, and I went to bed, and I could hear demon killing going on in the living room. No, that's blaster fire. I don't think that's how you're killing demons.
Kinda.
Kinda? Oh, okay, I don't know. That's good that you're liking it, then. I don't really have a nerd thing. It's May long weekend, which means I'm starting to count down the days of school left. Yeah, exciting. Just finished another book. Start a new one. Reading, not writing.
Yeah, you read a book about Amsterdam because we're going to go there.
Exactly.
Summer, so
yeah, it was a contemporary romance about Amsterdam, and I was like, this is very Amsterdam-y. Half of it was about food, which is fair. Amsterdam is good food.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, we even went on a food tour, and she's like, this is weird, but Amsterdam's not known for its food. And I'm like, okay, I get, you think food places, you're thinking, Italy or something.
Yeah, it's not known for cuisine.
Exactly.
But, they have a lot of local favorites.
Exactly.
Like a good stroopwafel.
I love stroopwafel.
Or a poffages.
Mm-hmm. You like bitterballen.
But they also have Indonesian food.
Which was so good.
Because of the Dutch trading company. Went
it's like...
Stole all the good Indonesian food.
Yeah. It's like the second best Indonesian food in the world. Kind of like how if you want really good Indian food, but you're not near India, you can go but you're near England.
Yeah. Same reason.
Same
colonialism.
Reason. Yeah. Okay. What about we caught up. We did it all. Andor. That's our current show. I was going to say spoiler-free gut reaction, but that's going to be our main topic.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about it. So there you go. We're back. We only have some animated shows to catch up on now, I guess.
Yeah, for Disney, other than
for Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes, exactly. Other than and the only other Disney Plus animated Disney Plus show is also animated. I was gonna say, what if season 3 we haven't watched yet?
Yeah, and Spider-Man.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so just animated shows for Star Wars. We're pretty close to caught up, anyway.
Depends on how deep you go on Rebels.
I mean, that's true. Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's the shorts is what I was mostly referring to.
Well, we can just jump onto the shorts, I think.
So many things.
But we'll talk about that in our main topic, so consider this your spoiler warning. Ready to head to the news?
Sure.
Disney A News Update. Just 2 big news items.
Only 2?
Well, there might be more, but I'm talking about 2 big news items.
Okay.
News item number 1. The 70th anniversary of Disneyland has officially started.
And it still has ugly decorations.
It does not. It's actually super fun. I really like looking at all the stuff. It's cute.
I think the colors
are
like
so
4-year-old birthday party cake that you bought from the supermarket.
No, just jubilant, just happy, I love it. It's really cute. You look a little grumpy Sith-like right now. I really like it. It looks really happy. People were all excited because Paint the Night's back. And yeah, so
that looks good.
It really does. I want to watch a whole thing. Yeah, but they've adjusted it and updated and stuff. But I really want to watch a whole I'll go on YouTube and watch the parade, I guess. So people are excited about that. And then the other big news, this is official grand opening week of Epic Universe.
That is pretty big. Let's go back the 70th.
Oh yes.
The big well, I don't know if it's the big thing, but they're doing a special merchandise thing.
Oh, the key.
The key. You could buy a key to Disneyland for the 70th, which is kind of cool because it's like a giant key.
Yeah, and keys are like their thing.
Well, yeah, like they used to sell like the little mini keys with the different designs on it. Anyway, this is like a massive key. People are comparing it to like Kingdom Hearts, where they have the sword.
Yeah,
that's like
the key.
It's really big.
That size, yeah.
But you go around the park and there's like keyholes and you collect all the powers of all the lands, including Star Wars Land. They have a really cool looking
Star Wars looks very cool. And they're like interactive.
They're all interactive, and your key starts lighting up with more and more colors the more you collect. And then if you collect them all, it pops open and you get a pin inside.
That's so cool.
It's very expensive. It's like $60 to get the key.
I would want to do it so badly. I would do it.
It's like an activity, and you get a pin.
Yeah,
and you get the key, and like
someone said they didn't rush, but that's pretty much all they did one day, and it took like 4 hours.
Well, you have to go to every single land. So
yeah, exactly.
You could do that in an hour, no problem.
Yes, you could. But they were like wandering around, and that was kind of like it's
like a little mini scavenger hunt, or like a big scavenger hunt because you have to go across the whole park. And
you get to interact with all.
I
these
thought
things.
That was pretty cool.
I love it.
A little bit pricey,
and then you get the key, but the keys by themselves you get to keep the key, yes, but the pins by themselves would probably be like $20. Yeah,
pins are not Disney pins are not cheap,
especially like limited edition collectible ones.
You're paying for the fact that it's a little bit of an activity. You get this massive electronic key thing, and you get a pin. So that's why it's priced the way it is. I still think it's a little expensive, but that's Disney for you.
Yeah, it's true. Did you see all the different interactive things that you do?
Yeah, they light up and do things. It's
any stand out to you as being extra awesome?
Oh, I said the Star Wars one.
That one looks really cool. That's the best themed.
It doesn't really fit with the key, but it fits with Star Wars.
Yeah, which I was kind of nervous when I saw there was a Star Wars one. I was like, really? Because the other ones kind of stand out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I actually really like the stagecoach. You know, when you're walking on your way there. Oh,
that's true. Yes.
Because not only
that would be in Frontierland.
In Frontierland, yeah. I was thinking of it on the path to.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
but
that path was always kind of hidden until they built.
Yeah.
Star Wars Land, so now it's the stagecoach would like disappeared for a while. Now it's back, but they added like
stuff to it, and bubbles come out of it.
Yeah. Bubbles.
There's a couple of them have bubbles, but some of them are just like lights or whatever. But it's about like collecting them all. So anyway, very cool. Got to catch them all like Pokemon. Nope, different franchise.
I might come to Universal.
That's
tying
true.
it back to Universal. There you go.
Okay. Yes, it is the official grand opening week of Epic Universe.
Yeah. Even though it's been open for a while now.
Yeah, but like media and anyway, so they're doing lots of media events this week, of course, pretty much the whole week.
I did see a picture of a cast member holding a sign for the battle at the Ministry of Magic line starts here, and it had a 300-minute
oh my god
wait time
before it's officially open even.
Well, I don't know, but
wow.
I just saw it like recently, so it's probably open.
Yikes. That's pretty intense. Yeah.
No, it's actually in the ministry.
No. No. What is the feedback you've heard about Epic Universe?
Everybody seems to super duper like it.
Yeah.
The theming is amazing.
Yeah.
The rides are good.
Mm-hmm.
The food is supposed to be pretty good, like
which is
quite themed.
Which is cool because that is something that Universal is generally not criticized for.
Yeah, in the past they have been. Though I went to Universal Studios in Florida last spring.
Yeah.
And they were having like a food festival on for Mardi Gras, and most of the stuff I had was quite good.
Yeah,
actually.
you said the food festival stuff was great, and they should just like do that.
So I do think Florida, just because it's bigger, has more options and better food in general.
Okay.
But apparently Epic Universe has like really good in-theme food. So,
good.
There you go.
Yeah, that's something they always say, like between the Disneys, that Disney California's food, like their general food is way better, but they do like better sit down in Florida. But they always said that Universal in both parks, they like
really
were just
bad. Well,
yeah, there was like hot dogs, hamburgers, and stuff. Like
yeah,
it's
I
fun.
remember going to Universal and Disney World back in like 2000 when I went as a youngster.
That's a long time ago.
And yeah, the food was not great at Universal.
Yeah, but now it's like
it's better. They're working on
significantly
it.
Better. Yeah,
Like
of course. And so that's cool that they're focusing on that as well as all the theming and the like. It's good to continue it that way. I've heard nothing but good things. Mm-hmm. Except maybe the lineups are going to be insane, of course. But that's the price you pay for being there right away.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the lineups look like at the other two Universal parks right now. Is there overflow? Is it causing more people to go there, or is it just are they being forgotten because everyone wants to go to Epic Universe for the first couple months?
Yeah, you said it would be pretty tempting to go down there.
I don't know. Obviously we're not going because of reasons.
Reasons?
Well, we saw in Andor going to Space Florida is a bad idea.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Going to real Florida probably not
the greatest
idea either. But I'd be curious to see what the impact is on the two parks, just from a pure science perspective of crowd.
I might poke around
behavior.
At some content creators and see if anyone's doing that, because that's very.
I don't know if you can see wait times in the Universal app if you don't have a ticket.
That's too bad. That'd be weird.
I don't know. Okay. I can't remember. I think I might have deleted the app.
Okay, do you have any news to add to these things?
You totally forgot about the upfront panel that they had.
Oh my goodness, how could I have forgotten about that? I think because this morning I was looking at a bunch of Epic Universe stuff, and so I got oh yeah, that was this week, and that was like really exciting and really big.
Well, I had never heard of this before, but apparently it's been a thing for TV studios to kind of have a mini panel thing, and in general, but Disney had one, and the big announcement that came out of it was they brought Kristen Ritter on stage with Charlie Cox to announce that Jessica Jones would be in season 2 of Daredevil.
Oh, I'm so excited. I was actually surprised that they announced this, though. Because, like, they usually, maybe she's going to be, like, a really big part of season 2.
I feel like she must be.
Right? Because otherwise it would just be, like, I don't know. They would just surprise you with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, she would definitely be part of the trailers, and stuff gets leaked.
Right.
There's been a lot of set photos from them filming Daredevil already. So it was going to get leaked. They might as well make some big news on their own terms. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see who else is coming.
That's more a question, I think. What do you think?
Iron Fist.
Ugh. What do you think? I didn't hate him, but like there was definitely a weak link in that group, and that was it. Do you think Luke Cage is going to show up?
I don't know. The actor that plays Luke Cage has said that he's kind of done with it. So we'll see how serious that was or what.
I don't believe anyone.
No.
Anytime you ask someone if they're involved in a Marvel thing, like, sorry, Andrew Garfield, no one believes you.
They're contractually obligated to lie.
Yep, it's true. I was really excited about this because I love Kristen Ritter, actually, but Jessica Jones is just amazing.
Apparently, author Kristen Ritter.
Yeah, I didn't know this. She has a new book out, and I'm waiting till it comes out in paperback, and I'm going to buy them both. They're like a suspense kind of thing.
Yeah, she has like 2 novels now.
Yeah, which are apparently like solid. Like, yeah, I know. I was looking at the thing and people had it on their list of most anticipated releases of the spring, and I was like, that's funny. She has the same name as the actress, and I was like, it's the same person.
It's
okay,
the same person. Yeah. In her free time.
I guess so. And she's a producer too, eh?
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot.
That's true.
That,
you know who else has a book that's like solid? Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah. Like and again, like a suspensey type thriller one. I have it. I'm ready yet, but yeah.
That is very interesting.
I got for Christmas one year. Yeah, but interesting. I love it, actually.
I'd prefer them to get into writing novels instead of trying to do a singing career.
Oh, between the two things? Yeah. I think it's more common now to write novels than get into singing. That's much less common than it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be you try and go from actor to singer, and it's usually not great.
No, I like actor and then occasionally release a book. If the book is good, Other than like memoirs and stuff, lots of actors do that. But I'm talking like novels and things. I think it's great. So I'm going to get both of Kristen Ritter's books is where this story is going.
Reading, yay!
Let's go to the main topic.
Disney Plus and chill.
We had a very Star Warsy weekend, Brandon.
Well, May is Star Wars month.
It's true. And we are having a very Star Warsy May.
We are. Now. We got started slow.
Well, I dressed like Star Wars every day of the first week of May.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But we got behind on Andor.
Yep.
And stayed behind because we didn't watch it at all until
this weekend.
And
then not only did we watch Andor, we watched all of Andor.
Yeah, we started over and watched season 1. I'm very glad we did that, actually.
Oh, me too, actually, yeah.
I remembered it, but not like super well, so I think I like season 2 even more.
Yeah.
Having it be refreshed.
I agree. I totally agree. And there were things like, I remembered all the stuff that happened, or pretty much all the stuff that happened, but I'd be like, oh, I thought this happened earlier. Oh, I forgot this was in connection to this. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like I had the broad strokes, could have watched like maybe just a recap.
And they have one of those.
They have an official
Disney
Disney
Plus,
one.
yeah.
There's probably content creators that have better ones.
Probably
would be my guess, but whatever. Like that sort of thing exists if you can't devote another 9 hours to
fair
to watch the first season over again. But
yeah,
it was fun. So
I'm glad we did. Yeah, I totally
really enjoyed it. Which now that you've seen it all, you got kind of 3 swatches of Andor-ness. You got the original Rogue One.
Yeah, we watched that too.
Yes, we did. You got season 1 of Andor.
Yep.
And you got season 2 of Andor. Which do you prefer? Or I usually you can't choose things. So
no, I can't. I think it's really hard to choose, especially this because it was a continuing story.
It's basically one long story, including Rogue One. Like it flows quite well.
It literally just goes into it.
Into Rogue One. So
so that's really hard to separate. I think I had more like, oh my god, that's amazing moments in season 1, but maybe season 2 as a whole, like I don't know, it was really good, like really really good. There were, I don't know how I would choose this.
I think I like season 1 more, but they did the best they could with season 2, given them having to do time jumps.
Yep.
And tell the story that they needed to tell and get it to Rogue One.
Yeah, it's like they literally were like, this is how many episodes we have, this is how much time we have to cover, this is our starting point, this is our end point, we have to hit all these notes, go.
But it was very much a case of season 2 being 4 movies, basically.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. 100%.
Which worked really well. They released it in 3 episode chunks, and the reason was that because the 3 episodes each 3 episode chunk comprised a year, and
or a major event of a year. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it took place in a year period. Wasn't every moment from that year,
right? Exactly. But, the big thing from that year. Yeah.
And they were like each a movie, like a 90-minute movie.
Yeah. I think that it is a benefit. If you haven't seen these yet, it is a benefit if you can sit and watch all 3 back to back.
Yeah, try to schedule it like
I know that's
movie,
hard.
Not individual episodes. I think it works quite well to do it
so
that
too.
way. Like, and then you can take breaks on after every 3rd one.
Yeah, I think so too. That's mostly what we did. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't sit down and watch it straight through.
No.
Mostly.
We watched a lot at a time, but yeah.
The weather was poor yesterday, so
that helped.
It helps, yeah.
What? How do you think Rogue One fits in with these 2?
It fits in pretty well. There's more supporting characters, obviously. Like the show Andor mostly focuses on Andor, even though there is side characters, but it mostly focuses on Andor, and he's definitely a far supporting character in Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
And I do think the acting and writing is better in Andor.
I think so too.
To Rogue One, though the spectacle and cinematic nature is bigger in Rogue One because they, of course, had a movie budget. Of
course.
And yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. They work though.
Yeah.
It works. I was worried about it being
disjointed,
too uneven and disjointed, but it.
No. I think it fits.
Yeah.
Were there, speaking of just season 2 now, since this is the new one that's out, were there any standout moments or story arcs or characters or something like that where you were just like, man? Because, I mean, season 1, we've talked about, and I said, like, oh, there were more, like, for me, obviously, there's the one way out moment, and then, you know, Marva's funeral. But, like, was there anything that really stood out like that, those great moments? Or Luthen's speech about burn my... Yeah. That was really good. Was there anything really stand out, like...
Yes, the intelligence officer Deidre, her downfall stood out quite a bit, and like Krennic, because in Rogue One, Krennic is kind of stunted on. he's kind of almost treated like a bumbling, egotistical person, and he's just terrifying in Andor.
He's really creepy, yeah.
And totally so he was only in season 2. Like he didn't make an appearance in season 1.
Nope.
But they got the actor back to play him in season 2 from the movie, and he actually earns his reputation as like this feared Imperial officer rather than being a bumbling failure that he is in Rogue One.
In Rogue One, you're to believe that he had this reputation, and he's just screwing everything up, basically, or wrong place, wrong time, and like behind what's going on and stuff like that. It makes a lot more sense seeing Andor season 2. I think they handled him really well.
Yeah, he gets rescued. He's not just made fun of by Tarkin and Darth Vader the whole time,
right?
Because he's the big cheese in season 2.
He is.
That there's no one with more power on screen,
right?
So that stood out to me,
and I think it helps that the two creepy officers who were following all the time, like they have reason to legitimately be terrified of him.
Yeah,
and
he's scary, and it goes to show how arrogant the Empire was, and kind of led to their own downfall. Because if they had just let her continue on, she was quite competent and was on the right track, but they didn't like the cut of her jib, so they messed everything up.
Yeah. And there were a few different characters, like you said. Well, no wonder the Empire fell. They keep destroying all the competent people. Yeah. It was
like the prequels of Star Wars went pretty deep into politics, but it was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Andor went into politics harder, but it was awesome. It was like Game of Thrones level. It was really good. Politicking and like...
Well, Clone Wars did so much to rescue the politics of the prequels.
Sure, but even that was like,
yeah.
No, like the politics in this, both in the Empire and the Senate, it was just really cool.
Yeah, I really liked it, and actually, it felt like it was getting a little political with the Allied, like the Rebels and stuff too. Like, I mean, I felt like they were touching on that.
The Rebels had their own different factions. You had the fundamentalists, the really crazy ones that really wanted to do some terrorism.
Straight up anarchy is what they were after. Yeah.
And you have the ones that like wanted to rebuild a government, and that sure went well. But yeah, no, I thought it just really good writing.
It was so good. Senator Mothma. I really liked her in this season. And actually, I liked her throughout the whole thing. But she was, she became more of a focus of this season.
Yeah.
And she could act her pants off, basically.
No, she was...
She could act her flowy dresses
She was
off.
really good. I think they spent maybe a little bit too much time on the wedding in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, I get that.
It was interesting, but... that could have been half of 1 episode instead of 3 episodes.
I think the whole thing is because the first section only took place over 3 days, and it's a 3-day wedding, and so they were like, this is what's going on each time.
I get it. That didn't even lead anywhere. We never saw the kids again.
No, they talked about them a few times, but that was it.
But
apparently,
there was no payoff.
There was no. I think there was. I think they just could have done more with the payoff for that. Apparently there was a scene they shot and they cut ultimately for time, and it's near, when she goes back in the I want to say it was like it was right before she gave her speech. Anyway, at the end she goes, and apparently when she's deciding that, she goes home and she's like looking around and like her whole house is empty, and it's really like highlighting how she's like lost her family in this effort to. She's lost the people she cares about in order to protect the people she cares about.
I think her relationship with her daughter was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And adversarial, and it would have been nice to have a payoff to that instead of nothing.
I think it's effective that it was nothing. Like, the last moment between the two of them that we see is when she's like trying to be, and she had like a nice tender moment with her before that, but is trying to be really supportive of like, you don't have to go through this, whatever, and she just lashes out at her.
Yeah.
But I mean, that shows that her daughter is like, you know, swallowed the punch basically, and they like this tradition and things like that. That doesn't mean they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, I would have just liked to see the daughter's reaction to her leaving and.
Oh, I see. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kind of like how at the end when we saw a montage of different people and we saw her husband.
Yeah.
Just see like a quick shot.
He was like drunk and given up. I would have liked to see the daughter like deeply involved in the upper class and like drinking that
drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah. I can see that. I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
You spend so much time on their wedding and it really doesn't impact anything.
The thing that I didn't like with that is we only got one more mention of Tay after that.
Yeah, that was fine. You know exactly what happened to him.
100% I know exactly what happened to them. But the whole thing is, I felt like that was such a fixture of the events of the wedding. Then, like, it took so long for her to address that with Luthen and stuff like that. Like, if had that happened more, I don't know, after that.
Yeah, so that's my biggest gripe with season 2 is the first 3 episodes.
Really? And I didn't mind that at all.
No, it wasn't.
And I thought the whole her like
better,
losing it at the wedding with the spinning in circles until the actress literally threw up doing that.
She went Raven.
Yeah, she. I think that was like her turning moment. Her role changed after that. I think.
Still didn't care for the first 3 episodes.
Okay, fine.
I was like, oh boy, but then the next 9 picked it up. So
I think the biggest problem with the first 3 episodes for me was you had the wedding, sure, but then you also had like the ridiculous when Andor is caught by the like other rebels, and they're funny and they offered some comedic effect, but I'm like, this is how we're spending 3 days of Andor's life in this thing. And I get what they were trying to do, how like there's all these little pockets of rebellion, and some of them are just completely incompetent.
Yeah,
and, like
there was a point to that.
It could have been done.
It could have been done in half an episode.
I think so, or an episode.
Yeah, no, that's true. It was. Yeah, you had his friends just farming, and him in a misadventure that.
The friends farming is not all that happened to them, though.
True.
And that was a bigger story. That one.
That was fine, but when you add it onto that, where they're just farming and then happen to get caught up in an Imperial audit,
where bad things happen.
It's not when you add it onto the other things that feel like nothing. I didn't like those 3 episodes.
Okay, I didn't dislike them, but I do think they were the weakest link. I think it was the least stakes for all of them, even though the friends farming ended in a particular way, where there were a lot of stakes. I was surprised.
Oh, they were farming wheat.
That's true.
I don't think they were going to eat the big yak.
They might have. I don't know. It got
and they
dark.
Also abandoned B, so that.
Yeah, we were upset about that, but we did see him again.
He ends up with a good droid life.
Good situation. Yeah.
Know?
And that's what I just kept saying. I was like, he's happier there anyway. He doesn't know that he's happy there.
Certainly,
but he's happy
he's
there.
not getting abandoned by Andor every 2 days.
Exactly,
kind of
or blasted open or anything. Okay, so the one thing about those first 3 episodes, though, Star Wars went dark there for a little bit.
Yeah.
There was, and I said, well, I mean, that's realistic, though.
It is realistic. No, but they had a full-on rape scene.
Yeah. Attempted rape scene.
Attempted rape, yeah. But that's how war goes. You have,
and that's not to make light of it. Like, it makes sense they showed that. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Star Wars tends to be a little bit on the lighter side,
but not Andor.
Definitely not Andor. But that, like, you have officers and military personnel occupying a territory.
Yep.
Unchecked.
Yep.
Things like that happen
Yeah.
in real life, and it's
Which is
disgusting.
so terrible.
And there's a reason they shy away from that in Star Wars. Like,
Yep.
it's not pleasant, but it fit the tone of this show, and I thought it was
effective that they showed that.
Yeah.
Poor Bix. Kat doesn't have enough trauma, that girl.
I'm not super happy that she ended having a baby.
Yeah, I don't love
but
that
I'm
trope.
very happy that she didn't get fridged.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought for sure she was going to.
Me too.
Especially with how uselessly we're making her after her interrogation.
Yeah.
And she had the drug habit and stuff, and I thought, wow, she's just gonna go off the deep end. And
yeah, I thought for sure they were gonna have her like ODing or something, and then that would lead to Andor not trusting Luthen after he showed up and stuff like that.
I definitely thought it was going down the path of fridging, and
I did too.
So
she got some redemption.
She somehow, I thought, well, she cleaned herself up to go on the mission to get her revenge against the interrogator.
Yes.
And then I thought it was gonna ring hollow, and she was gonna slide back into addiction and whatnot. But no, she
yep.
All better, I guess.
Well, I don't know about all better.
Light murder, and
just some light murder. I don't know about all better because we definitely do see, but she's doesn't have the constant nightmares or anything anymore. We do see like some emotional drama and stuff like that, but that's mostly then based on her relationship with Andor and his emotional drama.
I wonder if the therapist on like BetterHelp recommends a little light murder.
They might, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it depends on the context.
Right. Yeah.
Every person's story is different.
Okay.
Just some light murder. But like revenge murder.
Yeah.
Light revenge murder, right?
Oh, he definitely had it coming.
Yeah, and to be fair, she's not the one who murdered him. She was just torturing him. Andor's technically the one who pushed the button.
Sure.
I mean, okay, she strapped him down where she knew there was like explosives and then tortured him where he could have just, killed him, but
yeah.
But technically she didn't, well, I mean, she was adjacent to the murder, but she definitely was more torture.
I think Andor put him out of his misery. He was dead either way. Just how long that took.
So Andor did mercy killing me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad they didn't kill her off. I honestly thought they were just going to kill everyone that was connected to Andor off. But they didn't. But they want to make sure that we know he's alone in this. Or alone-ish.
Or explain why these characters are not in Rogue One.
Yeah. Do you think they did a good job of that? Both making us care about the characters and then also explaining why. Because we know what happens. That's a hard line to walk. To be like, you need to care, but also you know what happens.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because there is not really a reason that Willman is not in Rogue One, because he's at the Rebel base and whatever, but he's too valuable an engineer to be setting off on these suicide missions.
I think that's it, because they were really after pilots and stuff like that in that one, right? So we don't see him, but that didn't feel like it's weird we don't see him kind of thing. Maybe a little bit.
If Andor had actually come first, he would have been in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Even just in a talking scene or something.
Right.
But, oh well.
Yeah. And they did get the actor back who plays, like, and even watching Rogue One, I was like, I think that guy's in Rogue One. And then watching him, like, yeah, he is. But you don't know that, like, he and Andor are supposed to be really good friends.
Mm. But
he just gives him, like he's part of the group that goes and gets a leadership role in the fighting.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool, like a cool way to make that connection between the two. Because they can't put Willman in the...
Yeah.
They can't retcon him into Rogue One, so we'll be like, well, we'll do the reverse way. And what about the whole, I guess... What about the whole scene, because we were talking about how Andor went dark and it feels totally different Star Wars. The one that the actor who plays Cyril said was like, oh, this isn't Star Wars, was the, well, straight up genocide, basically. What do you think of that?
Like the Gorman massacre?
Yes.
I felt that was Star Wars. Like it was very French Revolution style like I almost wanted to start singing One Day More. But I thought it felt very Star Wars. Like that's how I pictured the early days of the Empire being some of this underhanded stuff to get the trillions and trillions of people in this galactic empire to be afraid and do what they want them to.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't. I thought that was probably more Star Wars than a rape scene.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. See, I don't know. I don't know that I don't think it's Star Wars, but I thought the attempted rape scene fit in with Star Wars because that is how you get your local people to shut up.
Yeah.
Is like intimidation and abuse and stuff, and that's how many, even from episode 1 of Andor, when we saw the two guys who were like, and he said like they don't really have any power, but they act like they have power and they like throw their weight around, so like that's how that stuff happens.
Yeah, for sure.
You give people who just want to be in control of someone some control, and it gets abused.
Yeah, it's.
So I thought that
I don't think it didn't fit the tone. You asked if it was not Star Wars, and Star Wars has always been kind of infantile with its sexuality.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So
minus the gold bikini scene.
Not right or wrong. That's just that's why I say it.
That makes
like
sense.
That.
Yeah.
It's like the Ken doll effect. Like they kissed. Like that's as far as sexuality goes in Star Wars.
Yeah, and Andor is not. That is not true at all.
No.
Yeah. So I get that. You also have. I mean, I think we said that in this when we first watched season 1 of Andor, is like, oh yeah, no, they don't shy away from sex stuff at all in this one. The actor, I can't remember his name, but the actor who played Cyril said it took 2 weeks to shoot the massacre scene, and because you had the group speaking literally French.
Wait.
And they'd be like in different groups, and then you had like the others, and he's like, that felt way too real to be like, and it was upsetting. What did you think about him as a character? Because that was an interesting episode. The finale of that was an interesting episode.
Super interesting character. I was sad that they killed him off when they did. I would have liked to see a little bit more.
Yeah.
He was definitely destined to
he was going to die.
Be killed off, but he was kind of wavering there, and
I
don't know. He very interesting character. There's a lot of very interesting characters.
Yeah, they really are
in this show. So I thought he was really, really good.
I loved when he like went back and he's just standing there like completely overwhelmed, definitely wavering, and I was like, oh man, are they going to give him like this whole redemption moment here?
I didn't want a redemption arc.
No, I didn't think so either. And then he saw Andor and snapped, and I was like, I want Andor to look at him and be like, I don't even know who you are. And he did.
He did, yeah.
He's like, who are you?
Who are you?
He's made this like revenge his whole focus, and I thought that was very effective.
And that broke him further.
Yeah, and then
so
bye.
he technically did die at the right time. He's just such an interesting character that it made me sad not to see more.
I totally agree, and I thought he had a lot of development in like such nuanced way. Like he was just very interesting.
Absolutely.
What did you think about some of the other characters, or some of the ones that we saw from Rogue One who came into this? Like, who else like stood out to you? Because I think this is something that Andor did really well, is write interesting characters. Like you mentioned Deidre.
Yeah, like super awesome. And then, well, of course, Luthen, and then in season 2, his relationship with Clea, and then the flashback. After he's dead was. They did that, like, and the pacing of that was really good. Like,
I was a little unsure when we got our first flashback. I was like, really?
Yeah, now?
No. I thought it went really well.
That could have probably been more than half an episode instead of spending time at the weddings. But
can't do that
whatever.
when it's a 1-year thing, though, right?
Yeah, but it was a flashback. Anyway, it was probably more effective condensed.
Yeah, I think so too.
And focused, so I'm fine with it. It was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. I really liked Clea's character. I was very indifferent to her in season 1. I really liked her this season.
So Andor is like pretty final.
Yep. People are like, is there going to be a season 3? I was like, how?
Well,
With who?
here's my pitch.
Okay, I'm ready.
You get Clea and Mon's cousin
Val.
Is
that her name?
to go on some like Black Ops
Mm-hmm.
effed up stuff where they're just murdering.
I could see it. Both of those, and they have an interesting dynamic actually.
Yeah, just some like real Black Widow stuff where they
very cool.
They are going deep undercover and murdering some space Nazis. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I agree. You also had a pitch for a shorts series with B and K2.
No.
Oh, no. K2 and Chopper.
Yeah, I saw a meme online, and K2 and Chopper were canonically at Yavin Base at the same time, so they probably got together and committed some war crimes together.
Some light war crimes.
I would like to see them do some war crimes.
Chopper. I loved meeting K2, by the way, in Andor. It was so good.
That he is definitely the best character that they brought back from Rogue One.
Totally agree.
Seeing the origin of K2.
Oh man,
was great.
As soon as you saw him, I was like, yay!
You saw all the Enforcer droids come out, and you're like, okay, one of these is K2, and they're gonna disable him somehow, and figure it out, and yep, that's exactly what happened. Yay! And I'm very happy.
I think I literally cheered out loud. And then he was very K2-ish, and I just loved it. What did you think about, was this chaos watching all three major pieces in a row?
No, it fits, even though like the two seasons are multiple years apart in release, and Rogue One was multiple years before that. Diego Luna looks younger in Rogue One when he's supposed to be older, but that's how humans work. So
yeah.
Otherwise, no, I thought it all fit really nicely, and it was a fun way to spend a weekend.
Yeah, especially drizzly, rainy one. So I have one last question. You mentioned that online there was a lot of chatter about how Rogue One doesn't hold up as well now that Andor's out, just because probably, like you said, better writing and things like that. We watched them all. What do you think about that statement?
They have less time to get into it, and there's more characters, so it probably suffers a little bit that way, but not significantly so.
Right.
I think there's a lot of good moments in Rogue One, and it's
still my favorite Disney-owned Star Wars.
More cinematic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
I get
it is a movie, so
that makes sense. Yeah. I feel like I noticed like little jumps more, and like you did remind me that it did go through significant rewrites and stuff like that, where maybe that was more disjointed. But like Andor goes from like questioning, and he has this great like moment of like, you don't know everything we've given and stuff like that, and then he's like, okay, but we believe you, and I'm like, because Andor existed, I could see like why he would do that, but like I think it highlights more just that it's not fair though. We spent how many hours with characters with Andor, and then like you said, we have more characters, and we're supposed and you said supposed to, we do form a connection with those characters in Rogue One right away. So like I also get that. I think that they're different, but I think they go together nicely, and Rogue One still stands up. Still love it. Anything else to add on this one?
No.
What was your favorite episode of season 2? Or arc, because like you said, watch them in order. 3 at a time. Not the first 3, I got it.
Not the first 3. No, it was probably the last 3.
With Luthen's death and everything?
Yeah.
That's fair. And it was really cool, like, because we're heading right into Rogue One.
And you got K2 in there.
And you got K2.
And you get a payoff of a lot of things, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the right answer. Deidre's downfall.
I cheered when I saw her in the white and orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, sure did too.
Just saw the orange shoulder. It was a screen close up, so you didn't know where she was
until the end when they were doing the montage.
Yeah, but
from that
first shot, I was like, I knew exactly what was going on. And it was very satisfying.
It was very satisfying. And then at the end when they're showing the thing and she like leans back and then you see the lights on the floor go red and I was like, hell yeah.
How long do you think she's lasting in there? Or is she just jumping on the floor immediately?
I think she's going to jump on the floor. I don't think immediately, but she'll be the one night just standing there like we saw the one episode and she'll just step onto the floor. I think she's not making a year. I don't think she's making a year. What do you think?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh man, What happens to Willman?
He lives a long and happy life, and he's like a senator in the New Republic, but not on the planet that blows up.
Fair enough.
Or 7 planets.
7 planets. I was like, any of them. What happens to Val? Oh, she goes. You explained. She does espionage. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she has like PTSD after that, and is like an alcoholic, probably.
But she also inherits all of them. Like she's very rich. Like her family's very wealthy.
Yes, the Mothma's family, their Chandrillan family fortune. Yeah, she's just really drunk and sad. Spends it all.
That's really sad. I like Willman's a lot better. What happens to Bix?
She stays on the farming planet and is probably finds another dude. Mm-hmm. She was pretty good at finding dudes.
Nice farming man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And B stays with her.
Yeah, well, she gets and I don't know. We can't say what's going to happen with the baby because it feels like that's supposed to be something.
Yeah. I think that's why I don't like the trope, right? Because it's like they do that just so they can have that little thread to pull later if they want to.
They can, this was the baby.
And I mean, you obviously know, you can like do math. You know that's Cassian's kid. Unless it's not, and that would be a twist. But okay, who else is still alive? Is that it? Oh no, wait. Oh no, because she's going on the Black Widow style. I was like, yeah, okay, Clea, but I think that's it.
Yeah, and like we know what happens with Mon Mothma.
Yes,
so
yes.
There
that's why I didn't ask.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's our show this week. Thank you, El Mule, who's responsible for the custom theme song you heard at the top of the show. You can find a link to his work at our website, disneya.wixsite.com/podcast, where you can also find a link to our social media accounts and our email. You can find Disney A episodes on all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms and on our YouTube channel, Adventures A. If you've rated or reviewed our podcast, thank you so much. And if you haven't yet, please do. If you know someone who might like listening to us, please be sure to recommend Disney A as well. I have one more question for you. Is this the best Star Wars show?
Yeah, it's more consistently good. I'd say it being Star Wars is secondary.
Right.
It's just a good show. Like I would recommend this to people that don't even like Star Wars. It's sci-fi-ish, but that's the only. It's just a good political thriller.
Right. I know. I agree. If you were but because it's under the Star Wars umbrellas, that was kind of like. Does it lose its ranking in Star Wars because it's not as Star Wars?
That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying it's good not because it's Star Wars.
Oh, yes. It's just good. Like, you don't have to like Star Wars. You could like
It's just good. Like,
also, Diego Luna.
if you don't like Star Wars, you're not going to like The Mandalorian, for example.
Right.
The good seasons or the weaker seasons.
Right. Or Ahsoka.
Or like...
Anything.
This, like, if you like good TV and a darker, like, Breaking Bad type show, it's just good.
Love it. Agreed. Next episode, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Well, we're probably taking a couple weeks off, so...
Probably. At least one, probably two.
We're going to be taking a couple weeks off.
So we'll see. There's probably to be big news by then.
Yes. Yeah, we're busy. We're going to see some musicals next weekend. And then we're doing a original trilogy marathon.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah. So
in outfits. Costumes and courage, it said.
Well, I have Jedi robes and lightsabers, so there you go.
It's going to be exciting. I don't have a lightsaber I'm bringing.
Well, I have two, so you can
I know, but
carry one.
C-3PO doesn't carry a lightsaber.
You're going full...
I'm going my dapper C-3PO outfit.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So I'm Krysta.
And I'm Brandon.
And until the next adventure, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thanks for listening to Disney, eh?
I would recommend this to people that don't even like Star Wars.